Hello, I'm Cindy Arenberg Seltzer, President and CEO of the Children's Services Council of Broward County. Welcome to our new set and another edition of Future First, Focus on Broward's Children. Providing timely, high-quality, and comprehensive mental health services to those who need them is a topic that's now being discussed in legislatures and living rooms across America. Proactive, preventive, and compassionate treatments are becoming the norm, displacing those discredited, more punitive approaches. In 2011, the Department of Children and Families selected the then newly created Broward Behavioral Health Coalition, also known as BBHC, to manage the services related to mental health and substance abuse in Broward County. By selecting a private, local entity to manage, support, and provide oversight of its funded behavioral health services, DCF opened the doors for greater flexibility in providing a consumer-driven, effective, and efficient system of care, tailored to the complex realities of our community. Here to talk about how the BBHC work is impacting particularly children, youth, and families are Sylvia Quintana, President and CEO of the Broward Behavioral Health Coalition, Adam Noe, Wellness Coach with South Florida Wellness Network, Sky Maxine Gleek, Program Manager with Henderson Behavioral Health, and Chris Ferraro, a peer advocate, also working with Henderson Behavioral Health. Welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for being here to talk about this really important topic.
Sure.
And I think, mental health has gone through a place of having great stigma attached to it, which I think is starting to change now.
True.
Sylvia, in my opening, I talked about how it's really being discussed in legislatures and living rooms all over the place, and this new approach. Can you talk about how Broward Behavioral Health is involved in those changes that are happening and what your vision is for the future in Broward County?
Sure. I think that, number one, we are very lucky to have a community-driven organization where on the board is a non-for-profit organization, and on its board basically sit all the stakeholders and key partners from the community that are interested in providing a good quality and wellness type community living. And we have to think about that because it's mental health is about the wellness in our communities. And it's crucial that we're all part of whatever role we have to play in getting that going. Traditional mental health services have usually been provided by professional organizations or people that graduate from colleges and universities, and to some degree has reached a certain part of the population and has been successful at that. However, there's another part of the population, as things have changed, they have not been reached. And as we don't reach them, they get more in trouble and they become more complicated into other systems that basically at some point they're not reachable anymore.
And I think we've seen our jails get filled up with them.
The homeless?
The homeless, yes, of course. And we see, sadly, some of these mass shootings that we've experienced.
Exactly.
So being able to get to them early through whatever means necessary
is helpful.
Yes.
And those difficult clients to reach or individuals to reach, which the professional world has not really been very successful at, can be reached by using an essential component that has come out recently, which is the power of the peers. And it has to do with trained individuals that have had experience in that field of our target group that are trained and they're certified so that they can help engage and provide hope to those individuals that are at a point in their lives where they think that, it's not worth it to live anymore, and I don't see the hope anywhere. I'm never going to get out of the hole that I'm in. And so here comes a new development in our professional process for providing treatment that has to do with engaging in training and building the capacity for peers to work in collaboration with professionals so that we can engage those individuals, and then the professionals and the peer together as a joint team can really reach out to those families and provide the supports that they need and the services they need.
So it's not so much that the professionals aren't successful in helping people with mental illness, but rather maybe those people wouldn't walk through their door.
Or would not
or
even
the
listen to
stigma
them.
wouldn't know, right.
Or would not listen to them. I mean, you may have professionals that go out and say, hey, I can get you into my treatment program, I can get you into this thing, and people are saying, been there, done that, hasn't worked. And so I don't believe in what you're selling me anymore. That's the idea. And so because they're saying, hey, you're a professional, you had everything in life, so you don't know where I'm at, you don't know how I feel, you don't know how hard it is for me to move anywhere near to where you're saying that I need to do or what I want to do. So therefore, I can't connect because people are so far in that hole, if you will, or spiral of hopelessness that they can't even see themselves connecting with that kind of person. However, the peer that was there not too long ago, that has those feelings and those experiences, can definitely do a better job connecting. And with that, I like to
I'd love to
share
hear
the information. I have people that have had that experience, because I don't have that experience, but have that experience, talk about what it's like to work as a peer.
Well, Sylvia, I was definitely one of those people who were difficult to engage and reach. And I am in recovery from drug addiction and a long list of mental health disorders. And for me, my organization that I work for now was throwing an art workshop, and I saw Youth Move Broward members living a life that I had always wanted to live, which for me gave me hope. I saw that they were doing the right thing, and I wanted more. I was intrigued. I didn't know that there were good souled youth out there in the world. And after my first art workshop, I just engaged with them. I just hung out and painted something.
How old were you?
I was 21. I am 24 now. And then I got more involved. I wanted to be around those people because they were doing the right thing. And that led to my first training, which was Youth Mental Health First Aid. And there, the facilitators of the training were youth, and I was blown away by their knowledge of helping others and their mental health services. And then eventually I really got involved with Youth Move Broward and became president. And Youth Move Broward has given me purpose in life, and that is to be able to help others recover and to let individuals, specifically the youth, know that their opinion matters.
Can you explain what Youth Move Broward is?
Youth Move Broward is a chapter of a national organization. It stands for Motivating Others Through Voices of Experience, and we all have lived experiences in something, either the DJJ system, child welfare system, substance abuse, mental health. And that's the beauty of it all, is because it's not just one specific area. It's a general coming together of all youth. And basically, at Youth Move Broward, we try to create leaders in our community. And like I said before, first it just starts off with just general peer support, just general youth engagement. And then if they decide that they like that and decide that they want what we have or are, excited, then it can go further into the trainings that the organization that I work for, South Florida Wellness Network, they provide wellness recovery action planning, youth mental health first aid, helping others heal, which is a certified recovery peer specialist training. And through those trainings, they can build their wellness plan themselves. And then they can be involved with the Leadership Council at Youth Move Broward, which is what I'm on as well. And then they can start advocating
Changing the world.
Be on TV. Yeah.
Which is great,
yes.
because look at how many young people you'll be able to reach through this
Right.
show. And if
Right.
they need the help, this can be the first step for them.
Right.
Now, youth generally have parents. And those parents are also suffering when their children suffer, and that's where you come in as your
Yeah.
peer support, right?
My peer support is also mental health and substance abuse. I'm in recovery myself in a 12-step program, and I came about as a peer working for the Peer Center that used to be in Fort Lauderdale. And I came in as a peer and helped out the, consumers, people like me, but the consumers, and worked with them. And something that Sylvia had brought up earlier, or a little bit of the discussion was, there's a saying, until you've walked a mile in my shoes. I'm the mom that's been through the system. I work for a Henderson Family Engagement Program. We engage families, the parents of how do I want to put this? An abuse report came in on the family.
Okay.
And through Broward Sheriff's Child Protective Services, a referral comes to our program if substance is part of that allegation. And we go in and we engage the parents. There are children that are from 0 to 10 is the age group that we go in and help the parents get evaluated, a drug evaluation and drug testing, and we offer the peer support. I'm a mom that's been through that. I've been through, I call it early intervention. I've also been through removal and reunification. So I'm that true peer. I've been through all of it. And I give them my story right from the beginning. I tell them my whole story. Some of them are a little taken back by it, but when I went through it, I didn't have a peer. Sylvia brought that up. I had the clinician going to me, and they probably didn't do it, but I saw this. Right. You have to do this. And I'd like to say I came in at Adam's age. I was 45 when this happened, and my child was 10, and he was removed from me. And I'd love to tell you it was a wonderful success story. From that point on, it wasn't. It wasn't. My son went into the system, kids in distress, if I can say that, and I thank them immensely. They had my son for 2 years. They never fostered him out. They kept him there in a group home called the Twig program. It was a wonderful, wonderful program. And my son was an only child to me, therefore he was spoiled rotten on top of my addiction. I gave him everything to leave me alone. That's really what happened at the time. So he could learn to play well with others. And while he was in there, I asked for residential treatment. And I went into residential treatment, and I followed the rules, and I was a good little girl, and I did what was asked of me. And at the time, I had every intention of staying clean and sober, moved close to the place. And I didn't learn enough skills to be able to go out on my own. In that environment, I thrived, but out on my own is where my trouble was. So I went back out for a little bit longer, about 2.5 months, and I came back in to treatment. That's when I go in and out, I mean treatment. Went back into treatment. The courts were still in my life, but this was, I asked, before they even really knew, I was already going back into treatment. And I'm happy to say that, September will be 10 years that I've been, clean and sober. Yay. So when I've worked for Henderson as a peer out in the community on other programs, and when this program was brought to my attention and I was asked to find other peers to come in to this program, and I recommended a couple of my coworkers who now work there, and the head of HR said, "Why aren't you applying for it?" And I'm thinking, why aren't I applying for it? And so therefore I came in, and it's been great ever since. I mean, I'd love to tell you there's a million success stories, but my point is I go in and I tell them who I am from the beginning to hopefully give them hope that it gets better, and to also let them know that they don't have to follow my footsteps. Because of my slip up with Michael while he was in the system, he was removed from me. And I sent him to family in Chicago. And he was a teenager at this point, so I let him stay in Chicago. My brother had a wife and kids and a whole unit that I didn't think that I could give him what they could.
So you never were reunified?
Yes, I was.
Oh.
Yes, I was. He was 17 years old, and he came back for his last year of high school. I saw him every summer, talked to him all the time. He's a teenage boy. So I have to remember everything that comes with that and not take it personal. He was a teenage boy. Right. He came home for his last year of high school, joined the Marines, and he's currently overseas defending our country. And he's a great young man. you know, and we have a great relationship. And that's a wonderful story, you know.
It is a wonderful
But
story.
it wasn't a wonderful story up to that.